He is the troubled Detroit sergeant with more than 80 complaints to his name. A 7 Action News investigation sidelined him from patrol duty. And now we're breaking even more news about his history that took Detroit police by surprise.
The sergeant has been taken to court more than a half dozen times, and it's cost taxpayers a small fortune in settlements alone. One case is being litigated right now, but the city insists no wrongdoing.
Tonight, 7 investigator Ross Jones continues his deep dive into this concerning alleged pattern of behavior.
And brings us part 2 of his investigation.
He seems to be a frequent flyer.
Attorney David Robinson is talking about Sergeant Stephen Koo. As we reported last week, the 12-year veteran of the Detroit Police Department has amassed more complaints against him than almost any other officer on the force.
He a gangster with a badge.
I've been called a by him. I've been called a by him.
In his 12 years with the department, Koo has been among its most sued officers too, amassing at least 8 lawsuits filed against him, costing taxpayers to defend and often settle. The cases run the gamut, from alleged assault and battery to deprivation of civil rights to gross negligence. In each of the lawsuits, Koo was just one of several DPD officers named.
He was trying to antagonize me.
In October 2016, Terry Parnell was at his mother's home when Koo and his partner showed up in the front yard. Parnell said he had a legally purchased and registered handgun, and when the officers arrived, he took it out and placed it on the front porch, and they took him to the ground.
Tried to give them my paperwork. They didn't want to receive it. Handcuffed me, took me in, booked me.
A citizen can have a gun on their own private property.
Parnell sued DPD for wrongful arrest. He settled the case and a separate lawsuit against the department where Koo was not a defendant for $375,000. The city admitted no wrongdoing.
They job is to protect and serve, not abuse.
Lisa Ingram and her family say they were in their driveway when Officer Koo and his partners arrived to conduct a raid on their neighbor's home.
So you had nothing to do with the raid?
No.
You just lived next to the raid?
Right.
Still, they say they were handcuffed and detained as if they were the target.
They had guns to our head, tell us to get on the ground, shut the up. We ain't, got no right to talk, any of that.
The family sued. The city settled, again admitting no wrongdoing for $130,000. To date, the city has paid out more than $800,000 in cases where Koo was a defendant.
And they jumped out cussing, and people took off running.
And today, the city is defending a lawsuit filed by Mark Gaddis. On the night of July 21st, 2017, he and members of his family were gathering out on the front lawn of his aunt's home in Detroit when a dark car pulled up.
They really just heard the car, and instantly a few people started running, so instantly my reaction was to run. As soon as I started running, I heard somebody say, I'm gonna shoot you, I'm gonna shoot you. So I really started running fast then.
The men were cops, including Officer Koo, but Gaddis said that wasn't clear at first. It was dark. They were in a semi-marked DPD vehicle, and their headlights were off. The officers briefly apprehended Gaddis, according to the complaint, kicking him and beating him before Gaddis broke free. At that point, he was shot twice, once in the buttocks and again in the back of his ankle. Officers said Gaddis had a gun in his hand and tried to use it. He was taken to the hospital in temporary serious condition.
I woke up in the room. They just kept trying to make me say I had a gun, and just trying to force me to say, and that's what happened that night,
Gaddis would be charged with 11 felonies, including assaulting a police officer.
Did you have a gun that night?
No, sir.
Detroit police investigated the shooting, ruling it justified. During trial, multiple officers said they saw Gaddis with a firearm, and Koo said he raised it.